with late game execution.
No, ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Constantly, at least on this channel, ain't even in the media, there's been lots of talks of why the NBA ratings have been down. We point out many examples that are contributing to the NBA ratings being down. Um, media spots like ESPN constantly pushing one guy, he's Asian. The refs, the way they play basketball, too many 3-pointers. Adam Silver not knowing what the hell he's doing, especially when it comes to the All-Star game. Load management, of course. But I also want to take it a little bit deeper with this. But before I begin, like, share, subscribe to the channel. And the reason why I want to take this a little bit deeper, it goes back to a period in time in the NBA 10 years ago, you could say, when everyone wanted to jump on the super team. Everyone wanted to click up and join the same team. No one wanted to get it out the mud themselves. They wanted to join the Warriors, join LeBron, whatever team he's on. Something like that, right? See, I think one of the reasons why the NBA ratings are so low is a contributing factor of the weak-mindedness of these players. And what I mean by that, these guys don't have, and this goes back to the other point, a competitive bone in their body. They want the easy way out, the easy route. See, talk about the 90s. These kids can talk about the 90s only one, but everyone had a squad. A squad. See, we all know at the top of the 90s, for most of the 90s, was Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Right? So everyone below the Bulls had their own squad and had their own, let's say, gang or something like that. See, you had the Phoenix Suns with Charles Barkley, the Houston Rockets with Hakeem, and eventually Clyde Drexler. You had the Knicks, Patrick Ewing, Mark Jackson, all of them. The Pacers, Reggie Miller. Even the Miami Heat. At times, the Atlanta Hawks. Eventually, the Spurs. But Spurs pretty much came later. At one point in time, if you even go back to the 80s, they had the Pistons, the Lakers, the Celtics, the 76ers, the Bucks. Team that never, probably the best team that never won a ring during that time. There was plenty of parity. Everybody had their own squad. And even the Sonics of the 90s, too. Can't forget about them. And the Utah Jazz. Cannot forget about them as well. With the exception of probably the Rockets, who eventually got 2 of them while Jordan was away. Or wasn't the same. Everyone wanted to crack at them. Everyone wanted to crack at the Bulls. And they was going to try their hand at it. Right? There wasn't many people trying to click up like that, especially in their prime. They all wanted to go at the top dog or whoever was the top dog. See, today, no. When the tough gets tough, it's time to go. See, I don't even collect jerseys no more like that because if I collect jerseys, it's going to be somebody who's already retired out of the league. It's hard to collect jerseys because these guys move around too much. There's no narratives anymore because everybody just leaves the team and moves to team 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 to team. KD is one of them. LeBron's been one of them. Paul George is quickly becoming one of them. And I blame ESPN for that because they always try to put it out in the atmosphere that this person should leave here and go there. KD. And it kind of has contributed to these low ratings because there's no real head-butting rivalries anymore. There's no rivals anymore. I kind of want to make this a separate video about rivalries because they try to hype that up between Steph and LeBron, but I might get to that in a different video. There's none of that going on anymore. There's nothing to be excited about. Like in football, they still have rivalries. You still have the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ravens. Even Wednesday afternoon, they're not even in the same division. They ain't same conference, not in the same division. You had players from Houston, Texas, and Baltimore Ravens jawing each other before the game. My Packers get into it with the Vikings, Bears, Lions, before and after the game. These teams do not like each other. They want to defeat each other. Beat each other. That sounded wrong. When in NBA, it's nothing like that. You can't create a rivalry because everybody keeps moving because they're too weight-minded to dig in the mud and figure out what they did wrong, how they lost the series, or how their season went astray, and come back the next season and try to start over and run it back with the same team and try to start over again. There ain't none of that going on. You had that for 2 seasons, then you're ready to move on and go somewhere else. KD. And I was going to put KD in that position because he belongs in there. Same thing with LeBron. So I can't put none of those two in the top 10. But that's a different video for a different day. So, yeah, I think that has been a small contributing factor to the low NBA ranks because there's just no excitement because nobody stays on the same teams. Nothing can be created between teams. There's no... It just leaves a void sometimes for some of these guys always leaving teams. Most of the players back in the day, superstars, they played on one team. Tim Duncan, people like Tim Duncan, Kobe, Dirk. So the ones I can think of right now, top of my head, that played constantly with one team. Then you had some people like Hakeem that eventually did leave, but that was towards the end of their prime. Magic is another one. I guess you could count Kareem because he played, was it 6, 7 seasons with Milwaukee and played another. I don't know how many seasons he played with the Lakers, but it was a lot. It just wasn't all this jumping around back then like they're doing now. But anyways, tell me what you guys think.